I'm Cameron.
And I'm Jordan.
Let's crash the mood.
Alright. Alright, so we live in a time where comic books are a bit more prevalent. Finding homes in different, media and being more stable in that. So that being said, we're gonna discuss holiday fare, like the big two, namely Marvel and DC these days. We're sticking to mostly other media because in the comics, they're both doing a bunch of different things. So we talked about a little bit about the movies and how both of them handle those. The TV shows, both, like live action and animated, and the same goes for the movies really, and just limited to probably last 5 years or maybe a little further back, or what, or this year, or how do you want to do that?
Probably just, you can do it general and more focus on recent, I would think. But
we go there.
Let's get started with movies, the big thing.
All right.
That's where all the attention is.
Yes, and let's start with the big one, Marvel. So, where to even begin? Well, Marvel movies isn't a new thing. They've been kicking around, hell, as long as you've been around, man. Like the old Captain America movie. But it wasn't until the 2000s that it changed a bit for the better. And only in recent years did it get, actually pretty amazingly handled. After all the X-Men and Spider-Man movies. But how do you feel about Marvel and their movies these days?
Marvel is good popcorn fun. Popcorn fun. I'm going with that word.
Okay, right, okay.
Okay. It's good, entertaining movies. They don't make you really think about anything. They're just fun movies. There's not really a bad Marvel movie. Coming out of Marvel Studios at least. There are bad Marvel property movies, but they don't really have any control about that anymore. But the thing, when you're going into a Marvel movie, you know it's going to be lighthearted. You know it's going to be entertaining. You know you're going to have one or two decent action scenes. And you know you're going to get more information about the universe and some grand plot or something. And so you're going to walk out pretty satisfied. You know what you're gonna get, and you know you're gonna leave happy. That's where we are with Marvel right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. They've been doing an excellent job of building up their own little universe and having consistent themes and ways that they want to handle the movies. Now, that being said, a lot of their DVD releases, which are a lot of the animated features, those leave a lot to be desired. It's not where their focus is, and it shows. And hell, most people wouldn't even know most of them. They come out with them pretty regularly. Actually,
they're complete crap.
Yeah,
I think that the most recent one I saw about was Iron Man Technovore or something. But
oh god,
they're just complete crap. That's not their focus. They know they're the moneymakers and the big Marvel movies and the big live action movies, and that's where they put their quality talent. And they're not too focused on the animated movies because they know that the big cultural influence is the movie theater. Even though there's the rise of the internet and everything, it's still one of the biggest cultural influences on society today. Movies.
Yeah. I would also agree. And that is unfortunate for animated features, but again, like we said, that isn't their focus. Now, that being said, I say we move on to DC because I feel like while their live action movies leave some things to desired, or some of them are pretty competent, it doesn't stock up to Marvel, but more than that, I lead into DC because their animated features, they've been shining for a while. Most of them have been hits, in terms of quality. Well, there were some misses. They stumble, but they never fall.
Yeah, they're entertaining. They're well, a lot of them always run like, okay, I wish there was another Justice League series coming out.
Oh yeah, man! Like with the Justice League War movie, it was such a nice like setup for that. It's like it reminded me of the good old days, man.
I mean, they're nothing like great or anything, but like they're good enough that you're like, I wish I could see more of this.
Yeah,
their animation's usually decent. The upcoming one, like Trapped in Time, doesn't look too good to me though. But we saw Son of Batman. That was entertaining.
Surprisingly.
Crisis on True Earth is entertaining. I like First Flight. The Wonder Woman movie is probably the best. Like besides the Justice League, it's the best representation of her in a media outside of comics.
Yeah, they handled that pretty well. Like, it didn't annoy me at all. I mean, I rather enjoyed that movie. And I mean, of course, there's a lot of Batman and Superman ones out there, and that can get annoying, and not all of them are great. But I will say, like, I enjoyed All-Star Superman. That was pretty cool. And about Superman, Batman Apocalypse, or Batman, Superman Apocalypse, whatever it is, I enjoyed the ending.
The fight scene, yeah. It's just a skip to the end fight scene. I also really enjoyed Superman versus the Elite.
Yeah, that was actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good adaptation of the What's So Funny About Truth, Justice in the American Way comic.
In a better title. Yeah, in my opinion, anyway.
Well, that doesn't really work for a movie title, but yeah.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I didn't like the title at all, I was saying that the Superman vs. Elite was the better title.
I know. I'm saying What's So Funny About Truth, Justice in the American Way doesn't really work for a movie title.
Yeah. What about the DC live actions? How do you feel about those? I mean, I feel like they have come along a bit, but now I don't feel like they know what they're doing. But
the problem is, I don't think they've got a studio, at least they haven't before the Man of Steel reboot, an organized studio effort to create every single movie has to be quality for them. It has to be reach a certain bar. It's kind of like they're basically a factory now where they say, okay, we have this level of quality, and if it doesn't meet it, then we're not going to put it out there. DC has put out a lot of crap. They've do you remember some of this? A lot of people forgot about, like Jonah Hex.
Oh God, yeah, that was a thing. Megan Fox. Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, like Green Lantern. I don't understand how anyone thought that special effect would work. I don't see how anyone let that get past like the test phase. Like when they were testing the special effects, like usually like a lot of times when they do these movies, they figure out can we do the special effect ahead of time so they don't make the movie and it looks horrible. So, like, for the major special effects, so you think, like, when they did the Green Lantern and special effects, someone would look at it and goes, this isn't working.
But it doesn't look like it happens, and you're left wondering who greenlit it.
The mask looks so horrible, but...
Really? No reaction? Who greenlit it? Really?
It's better that I give no reaction to that statement.
I'm offended, man. Offended. But, yeah, I get your point. Like, I honestly keep on forgetting that was a movie until you bring it up. It was pretty forgettable, and I am not exaggerating that. Like, I mean, I saw the damn thing, and I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, there was the Galactus route with Parallax. It was just a storm.
Well, Parallax was a dumb idea anyway. I mean, it was a rewrite of what I thought was an entertaining idea. But, yeah, I feel like Marvel is trouncing them because they don't have, a lot of like cohesion there, and on top of that, when you look at what really has worked for them over like the last decade or so, let's see, you had the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman, big surprise, Man of Steel, which I actually enjoyed, and you as well.
Okay,
Superman movie, big surprise.
Okay, yeah, I think we need to say something about
Man of Steel.
Okay, well, first, Dark Knight.
Okay,
Dark Knight worked because it was the singular vision of a person who makes pretty good movies.
Yeah,
like they have some flaws in them, but they're still pretty good movies. Christopher Nolan, you're gonna get something out of his movies.
Yeah,
I don't think he's put out like a horrible movie yet or anything where I'm like, okay, I've got nothing out of this. So I think you can take the Dark Knight out of the equation of how DC does movies. But like
Okay, fair enough.
Man of Steel was the first representative sample of their new effort to basically try to create a cohesive universe like Marvel, and I enjoyed the movie. A lot of people didn't, and I think a lot of people didn't because it didn't fit their expectations of what Superman should be, and I know there was a lot of flaws for Man of Steel.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to find flaws in a lot of things. Like, I mean, Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime. There's flaws in there. It is what it is. But with Man of Steel, I feel like I was able to overlook the flaws because overall, right, it was interesting to me and a fresh, version of Superman. I mean, there were parts where, people aren't going to like because it doesn't meet their expectations. But you get sick and tired of seeing, the Christopher Reeve type Superman deal, and you don't really care about that abomination that was Superman Returns. I liked Man of Steel, and if they're gonna do things like that, I feel like then it's a good, good potential, a good possibility of what's to come. Like, and of course, maybe they'll draw on the experience from the flaws. And by the way, I have still not met anyone in person that hated Man of Steel. It's just, you hear stuff about it on the internet. You see things, people responding. You hear about, the reactions were divided. You see all these different things all over the place. But I've never met one person who actually didn't like it.
Okay, I think a lot of it's a hive mind. Like, once you hate something, everyone hates it.
Yeah.
Okay, and to be fair, maybe if I rewatch Man of Steel, I'd be more angry about some of the flaws. But like, I'm not sure about that. But
yeah, but I mean, I'd still be willing to rewatch it someday.
But something like I think they should do more is they should be a bit more humorous.
Yeah.
When they do Superman, Batman, and also like, like Man still had like kind of dark filter and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I know Zack Snyder likes to do his thing or everything. I don't like that filter stuff he does, where it's like everything's filmed through a depression filter. But
hey man, because I watch Man Feel, man. But yeah, what were you saying?
But yeah, I mean, everything hinges on Batman and Superman, like how well that does and how good of a movie that is, because that's going to determine if they're going to make a Wonder Woman movie. That's going to determine like how much people are going to be excited for the Justice League movie. Because if Batman and Superman movie is awesome, everyone's going to be excited for Justice League. I mean, like, people were so excited for the Avengers because like each and every movie was of high quality. And so when Avengers was coming around, everyone's like, okay, I can't wait to see what this is going to be when they add all these high quality characters and all this good action and everything. So I guess we'll have to wait till a couple of years till we find out if it's worth it.
Couple of years, the way they keep on pushing back Batman, Superman, I won't see that shit till 2030.
Yeah,
but
it's not really funny.
it's funny to me. I don't care what you think.
Okay.
But seriously though, like I don't think they know what they're doing. That I mean, they're still trying to figure it out. And they said maybe 2016, 2017.
It's coming out. It's coming out 2016, in May, and people have talked about maybe they're filming Justice League back to back with that, and so then Justice League may come out the next year, right after that, or 2018. So I don't really know what they're doing with that, and we're just gonna have to wait for more information.
Yeah.
And another big thing people are talking about is I guess this segues into what we can talk about next is they've talked about whether they're going to combine that with the TV, the movies with the TV.
There's too much going on. Like, I don't see that going well. I mean, maybe, like under the right people, it could be implemented properly. But I think those universes are getting too big, and I mean, they're handling their own. Is what I'm getting at. And okay. I like their universes where they are, and they're building off things, and maybe if they did a Justice League, they could relate that, but I think it would be better if they just did their own little thing, because, like, okay, let's look at some of the shows they got, right? So,